Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment explains it. A lot of times we talk about superheroes from a realistic standpoint. We argue superheroes from a realistic standpoint. At least most of us do. When we talk about superheroes, we have to base it on something realistic because people do not, want to just settle for because sci-fi or because it's a fanciful world and fanciful things happen. They need real life explanations for fanciful shit. I don't know why, but people just feel like they need real life explanations for fanciful things. So what I'm going to do today is the top 5, at least my top 5, superhero deficits that are not deficits, but should be. Yeah, let's call it that. Before we get off into it, we need to get the legalese out of the way first. Comment, like, subscribe, and share to Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share because edutainment is what I do. And let's get into the edutainment. Number 5, sensory overload. Now, many times you got characters, and the one character we're going to go ahead and focus on is Daredevil. Daredevil has powers where 4 of his 5 senses are enhanced to a superhuman degree. He's blind, but his blindness has been replaced with a sense that's basically radar, so he can see. But Daredevil's weakness is sensory overload. It's interesting that he has superhumanly enhanced senses, but no superhumanly enhanced protection. Would that be realistic? I don't know. I mean, some animals who have like animals are more enhanced than us anyway, but some animals that have enhanced abilities like enhanced hearing and, things like that, when they, like a dog, you can overload a dog's hearing. You can overload a dog's sense of smell. That's totally practical. That should happen more often with characters that have enhanced senses, like Daredevil, like Wolverine, those characters with enhanced senses. Their senses should be overloaded all the time. Doesn't that make sense? If you have superhuman senses, you can hear to a superhuman degree. So if I put an extra amount of sound on you, or a blinding light, and you have enhanced sight, shouldn't that blind you that much more? That kind of a thing. But more often than not, we only see that happen with Wolverine and Daredevil. Shouldn't that happen with all characters with enhanced senses? Just a thought. It probably makes no sense to anybody else, but makes total sense to me. Next, number four. Everybody talking about number 4. Speech-based powers. Okay, what do I mean by speech-based powers? Zatanna is the one that immediately pops to mind. But speech-based powers aren't just limited to casting spells. I feel like also in the speech-based or mouth-based realm would be characters like Black Canary, Songbird, Tyrock. Yeah, those characters. Characters who more often, and I know with Zatanna is a lot of times people will gag her. people will throat chop her. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a thing. Same with Black Canary. My thing about that is, why doesn't that happen more often with familiar enemies? So what I mean by that is, I know you're Black Canary. I know your go-to move is the sonic scream. Why don't I put the clamps on you early? Why don't I break your windpipe at the beginning of the fight so you can't scream at me? You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. But yet we go into all this martial arts and that. You know what I mean? Back and forth like that. But wouldn't it be much easier to just simply take the throat, take the mouth, take the spell cap, take all of that off of the table before y'all get too far gone and you get dealt with? That kind of a thing. Number 3. We on number 3? Yeah, we on number 3. And number 3 for me is lack of peripheral vision. For some strange reason, we always write off the lack of peripheral vision. We always, just assume that peripheral, your peripherals being blocked or curtailed ain't a problem in the world of superheroes. We never see superheroes with a problem with peripheral vision. There's always some reason, there's always some excuse that, oh, they can see in that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here I pulled up a Pinterest page, and we've got a lot of, and no knock on this guy's page. I am simply using it for the different designs. I'm not saying the designs suck or they don't suck or anything like that. We're just talking from a practical point. How about her, for instance? I don't know who that is, but she shouldn't be able to take 2 steps in that outfit. I mean, from a practical standpoint, she can't see anything. She's walking around blind, literally. And the hoodie look, wow, cool. Not practical in a fight. This guy looking real anime. Unless he's got a 2-way mirror in that helmet, there is no way he should be able to see, let alone fight. You see what I'm getting at now? As far as designs that are impractical, that's impractical as hell. You should be able to see out of that. You should not be able to see out of that. You know what I mean? But lack of peripherals is never an issue. It never seems to come up. I can tell you right now, that's got a lack of peripherals. I got 2 other Black Panther masks. One is not a lack of peripheral, but that's because it does not cover my entire face. So, I mean, many different costume designs as there have been since superheroes came out. How is lack of peripheral vision not an issue? Even in the 1989 Batman, what was my man doing? From a peripheral standpoint, he was screwed. And that's what I'm saying. How is Batman seeing? Yeah, you got the Batman. Of course. All right. Number 2, open faces. Now, villains often take advantage of heroes having open faces, but they don't do it enough. Check this out right here. Bruh, look at this here. This is a scene from Batman number 55. I think this is Rebirth. I want to say Rebirth. Anyway, here's the thing. Bane hires the KG Beast to shoot Robin. Question: why doesn't this happen more often? Why doesn't Batman get shot in the damn face? I do not understand that. You got a bat with a yellow symbol on your chest, but your face is exposed. Which one would you shoot at? You got 2 double D's on your chest and your face exposed. Which one are you shooting at? Do you see my point? Professor X. Headshot. Why does this not happen more often? Is what I'm saying. Why aren't people headshotting folks more often? I mean, granted, if you're invulnerable or you're invincible, you know what I'm saying? But regular old masked adventurers who aren't walking out Kevlar down or you know what I'm saying, or vibranium down or promethium down or whatever down. You know what I mean? Why they ain't getting shot in the face? Why they ain't getting shot in the exposed parts? And I know it's some women out there that got on some outfits and they are just extra exposed, not getting shot there though. We ain't shoot them in the face. You know what I mean? Just from a practical standpoint, if I were a bad guy in real life out there, and there was people in costumes, mass vigilantes, I'm shooting them where their faces are. I ain't shooting them in their queer man. I'm not going to shoot him in his Q. Weird man. I'm not going to shoot him in his W. Goofy man. I'm not going to shoot him in his G. I'm going to shoot him in his face. I want him to stop, right? So, you know, if he got on something bulletproof, all I'm doing is making him mad to come get me later and break my arm. You know, you know what I mean? And it seems like that's what they do with bad guys nowadays. They breaking arms and whatnot. So that's my thing. That's not that. What do you think number one is? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You guessed it. The number one deficit for superheroes? Capes. Check out my man Dollar Bill here. This is from Watchmen, one of the most underrated superhero movies of all time. I say Watchmen is great. A lot of people are like, it's trash. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Dollar Bill got his cape caught in a revolving door at a bank while trying to foil a bank robbery. Before he could get his cape out, he got capped. That, ladies and gentlemen, is realistic AF. All right. That's probably what would happen if somebody with a cape like that. Anywho, you feel me? That kind of stuff right there. A very real situation. And if we still kind of tripping about it, let's take a look at something else. Here's your boy, Batman, handling business. Uh-oh, somebody grabbed his cape. Look at that. Now, because his cape got grabbed, look what happened. Bam, stabbed him. Now, he got out of it, but not the point, man. You should not be rocking capes in a fight like that. 12 people, one of them's bound to grab your cape. And in the immortal words of you know who.
Oh, he had a great look. Oh, the cape and the boots.
No capes.
Edna said no capes. I mean, a cape is simultaneously a hero's best friend and his worst enemy. You know what I mean? But if you ask Ed and Mo, they trash and they should never be worn. So what you gonna do, man? That's my top 5 of superhero deficits that aren't deficits, that should be deficits. That's it for now. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.